Cool. I'll bring us in. Yeah. Now it's my sultry.
Now it's your sultry
radio voice.
It's pretty hot.
Is it?
I don't know. We'll see how you do that.
Oh, just pressure.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Damn.
Hi.
This episode of Bacon is my podcast.
Yes.
We were literally just talking about how hot Shakira is. But this episode of Bacon is my podcast is brought to you by GregoryRossoff.com, Pondex.com, and DrinkWildBills.com.
Indeed.
Use the promo code BACON to get 10% off at any of those.
Also, make sure you don't forget, and it's super important, because it helps the show a lot, to give us those 5-star reviews.
Absolutely.
Give us those follows on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on the what's that other one? Oh, the Twitter.
The Twitter machine.
The Twitter machine. Because it helps 5-star reviews on any program that you listen to us on.
Right.
Super important. It helps us beat the algorithm. And super important.
Yeah, I recently read a couple of the reviews for us on Apple Podcasts, and I was pleasantly surprised by those reviews. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Thanks. So thanks, guys. Anybody that has written a review, thank you so much. That is super cool. And
also, to the person that put a 1-star.
Well, there's one. Yeah, there's a 1-star. But they didn't write a review, so we don't know why.
They didn't write a review. So give us a reason.
Yeah, if you don't like us.
If we suck,
tell us we suck.
Tell us why.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism.
Don't just say you suck.
We're musicians. Either. We could take constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
Shit, we can take just asshole criticism.
I'll tell you what. We're musicians. We get no and you suck a lot more than we get yes and you guys are great.
Right. It's
just how it works.
Us.
Just how it works.
Our musical careers have prepped us for this.
Hell, we give each other, no, that's not good, all the time.
Yeah, sorry.
I did the same thing to you.
You did it too to me, but then I was like, then I forgot that it was just like everything, and then I'm sorry. Because you were like, because I was like, yo, send me that song, and you were like, yeah, but you just said it sucked, and I was like, yeah, but work on it, and it's just like, no, no.
Back to the drawing board.
I was like, oh. I'm sorry.
Hey, man. If it sucks, it sucks. Yeah. That's how it goes.
But
that's how it goes.
Here we are. We are going to talk to a really fucking cool, up-and-coming New Jersey band called America Part 2. We vibed with them really well.
Now, I will say that during the interview, it is brought up the grooming of
balls,
the male's balls, the grooming of balls.
What are you gonna be? You're gonna be fucking all Mr. Oh well, I'm gonna try and be nice and talk about this grammatically correct.
No,
balls.
I think the word
balls.
Genitalia is funny.
Do you have a fucking bush?
It's funny. Do you have a bush? How do you tame your bush?
Honestly?
Huh? What do you got going on down there? You got 70s porn, or do you got or do you have
smooth as a baby's bottom?
Is it smooth like a baby's bottom?
Well, only as smooth as Manscaped gets me.
Well, Manscaped gets you very smooth.
Right.
I will say, are you brave enough to take the guard off and go for it?
You could do that.
So no, I am also, I'm brave enough to take the guard off and go for it on the abdomen, lower abdomen area.
Yeah,
but the actual marbles.
The jewels? No, that's what the guard's for.
I get nervous, man. I get nervous.
As you should be.
Because man,
it's
you get a nick there, you bleed for a long time. That sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But you don't do that with the lawnmower 4.0.
But you don't. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. It works really, really well. I'm not saying you don't got to pull it tight like a bat wing. You got to do that. You
Right.
got to do that.
You
Be
gotta do
smart
that.
about it. Be
Well,
smart about it.
The 4.0 is really easy to not let that happen to,
True.
which is great.
Yeah.
As opposed to like 3.0, I was kind of like, well, whoa! Yeah. So
Yeah.
The 4.0 is
Yeah.
way better about it, and way better than your normal hair trimmer, because it's for your hair.
Oh, dude.
It's not for your balls.
Your hair trimmer, you'll bleed out. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
So make sure you support our awesome sponsors at Manscaped.
Yeah.
They've got all sorts of fun products.
It's the ceramic blade.
It's a ceramic blade. It is water safe technology.
Yeah.
And it's skin safe technology. And it's also they've got all sorts of products that we believe in. If you watch the show, you know we're all about the crop mop.
That's true.
Why?
Oh, man.
Because in the middle of So What Fest,
All day.
it's 100 degrees in the middle of May. You gotta mop those balls, because you can get stinky.
If you don't have, right, and as of right now, Manscaped doesn't have. Now, apparently they're switching it up. But the underwear, if you don't have the underwear, dudes, sorry ladies, but this is for the dudes. You can get underwear with separate pouches, right? You got the hole for the dude, and you got the pouch, you got the marble bag, right? If you don't separate those, right, and a lot of us don't separate those, I separate those. If you don't separate those, man, on a hot day, things are touching, things are chafing, things are moving around, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
ASMR.
Dude, I use all the time the crop mop, because it literally just is awesome. I have them in my bag at all times.
Crop mop, crop reviver.
Yep.
Foot duster.
Yep.
You name the product, we've used it. Use it. Fucking use it.
Summertime.
And summertime.
Summertime, you do boat shoes with no socks?
No, I'm not a douchebag.
Well, some people do. Some people do boat shoes
Sorry,
with no
douchebags.
socks. Do you do any shoes with no socks?
No.
I have recently done shoes with no socks. And you know how I've done it? That foot reviver. Because
The foot duster.
the foot duster. I didn't do it before because, dude, that stinks.
It smells
It's
real
awful.
bad.
You take the shoe off and you're like, what just happened? And honestly, I've used the foot duster and it makes it so, like, I'll spray my feet, but I'll also spray the inside of my shoe.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just a couple of spritzes and stuff. But honestly, like, I don't know if that was the intention of why they did it. But literally, man, I hate socks. I hate socks. I have socks on currently with my shoes, but I hate socks. I feel like my feet are in prison. I don't like it. I understand. I wear socks because feet can get sweaty in shoes, and it makes the feet and the shoes gross. But the foot duster actually does help that situation. So, from me to you, that really actually works.
Let's correct it. Use the promo code BaconPod at manscaped.com. You get 20% off any and all of the items. But also, you get free shipping.
Yeah, this was way too long to talk about Manscaped.
Super long.
It really was. But right now, America Part 2. Coming up. Very cool guys. Very cool band. If you listen to What You Baking in 7 Questions, you already got a good idea of how cool they are. If you haven't seen that, it's over on strangerhoodtv.com.
Do it now.
So definitely check that out right now. And man, they're just fun guys. They're fun guys. We're going to be talking to them a lot more. We're going to be setting up shows with them, all kinds of fun stuff.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, when?
You do this one.
I don't believe you. Now. Fucker.
Yep. Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Look at that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to a lovely. Why are you laughing? I'm being serious.
I'm not laughing. That was it was one of those, like, you know when you make a face of laughter but it holds itself in and you don't make any noise? It was one of those.
You looked like you were going to crap your pants then. Or did you laugh?
Maybe.
Welcome to Bacon is my podcast, where today we have the band America Part 2. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
No, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
If you wouldn't mind, just introduce yourselves and what you do in the band before we get started, so people know whose voice it is.
Yeah.
I'm Alex. I play guitar and sing in America Part 2.
Sam, I play drums.
I'm Freddie, and I play bass and I do some vocals.
So you're actually the inaugural band. We've done over 100 episodes, and you're the first band that we were like, hey, I don't think people know who the fuck is talking, so maybe we should have them introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Hashtag professional. That's
Yeah,
what
we are professional as fuck here. So we've got you on. You are out on the road.
Well, in between now, right? You just got off the
right
road,
now
you're
they're
about
off
to
the
go
road.
back on.
By the time this is out, they're going to be back on the road
Fair.
in July. Pushing your new AP to Niverse.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love the name.
Yeah.
Because I am a comic book nerd as well. So I have a feeling that has to do with comic books or comic book movies.
What's a
Maybe
progression from Nation? Right? You had a Nation first,
Yeah.
and then we go to the universe after that, right?
Yeah.
Because we initially were going to call it AP2 World, and then we expanded it to AP2 Universe.
And honestly, the initial spark actually came from the K-pop group Luna, because their fan base, they call themselves the Lunaverse because it's
Universe.
super and stuff. And that was like a kind of a play off of that. And I feel we kind of all felt like AP2 World or whatever it would be. Like we wanted to like key into like our version for that because I don't know, like we just feel like the sonics of the EP kind of give off a very tone Rollins, and then also just like a lot of like intergalactic stuff.
Nice. What I do. No, you guys froze for a second. That's the only reason why I was like, not.
That's cool.
But so what is something that we have in the notes here, and I didn't know, but like when I first explained to him the type of band you were, because your PR agent reached out, sent us the record and everything, and I was like, these guys are like, they're garagey, but they're also sceney, and I really like it. And it's like raw, and it's what a rock band is. And then he put it in the notes because he's good at doing the research. You guys just went in and did it with no click, this whole record.
Oh yeah,
that is fucking cool and terrifying at the same time.
It was like honestly easier to make the record doing that.
We're kind of more like comfortable with that. Well, we kind of were leaning into that a couple years prior, and I think we did a little bit of the full length was like that, but I think we did like choice songs were to a click. And yeah, I think like doing that, once we got like the solid, whatever Sam was most solid with, like for drums, Doug could actually like map around his playing because he was so just in time with himself. So even when he would like slow down, Doug could like map it down and be like, oh, he actually played in like I don't even know, like 6/8 in this part, but at this tempo, and it was so it was all pretty like it was actually pretty sweet and pretty easy.
But you guys do some pretty intensive touring too, so you're tight. You're tight as shit,
right?
You know what I mean? Like even like little bits of live things that I've seen of you guys too. Like you're a tight band, so that's got to make it a lot easier to do stuff like that. But you're also doing parts in your songs that are like controlled chaos parts of songs, where there's just a lot of things happening. Is that easier to map out when you're not like, speaking of Sam, really, is that easier for you to kind of like do when you're not to a click to kind of like have those parts of the songs where you guys are just all kind of going off for a second and come back? Or
yeah, I mean, we all like jammed in a room together, so it was like the energy of like everyone playing instead of just like, here's a click, like just play the drum part. It was like the live energy. And then yeah, like even though it wasn't like on a click, like I was pretty much playing the same amount of time. So like if there was something a little bit messed up, we could like look at other tracks and be like, oh, this fill was actually better in this one. Like let's like, comp it together.
Yeah, that was my next question was about the editing. So
Yeah, so like, if there was something where I was like, like that was okay, like let's see what else I did. We were able to like pluck it out of there. But like at this point, the next time we record, like it's gonna be a lot less of that. We're pretty much just gonna like rip the songs and just hit like the record button.
now, did you track all instruments live as well at the same time, or did you go back and retrack guitars and bass later?
We like added more layers of guitar and bass.
Okay,
on top of what was already there.
What? No, well, for this one specifically, and the other songs that we recorded at the barn, the bass we kept completely. That was all live.
The guitar
and
the
guitar was all live. The only thing that we really layered was like
Extra
double
little
guitars and like
vocals.
guitars and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the basis is there, and I think that's something that we tried to kind of like key into is combining like what we love from all the best like older rock records in history, which was the live in the room feel of like the band, plus the new age kind of recording style where you can edit and pull things and overdub and do like cool reverbs and weird shit like that. So I think what Fred said before, the earthiness with the spaciness is kind of like you can metaphorically look at that as like us playing in the room together plus like the editing as well, which kind of forms the record.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and that's something that all the time, like whenever I put out a record or anything like that, like people they'll generally compliment it and stuff like that, but it's always, man, I wish they could capture you live. I wish they could capture what's happening live, and it's like, yeah, but we're ripping it all apart. We're taking it piece by piece, trying to perfect it. So you're never going to get that live. So that whole let's do it in a room kind of thing is
there's definitely a live energy.
It captures it. It fucking captures it. That's for sure. And you sprinkle a little zazz in there still too. So of course.
Thank you guys.
What you guys tour a lot. So what cities are you like really excited to go see? Like who goes off the best? Who's got the best food? What kind of things are you looking forward to on your tours?
Ooh. Well, we just did a bunch of firsts recently, like the tour that we just got off of a couple days ago. We just did like the whole like West Coast. We did a little bit of the Midwest, and I was looking forward to like so many of those shows. I'm sure I'm speaking for the boys, but like the San Francisco show, LA, Phoenix was also great. Even the Pacific Northwest, we did Seattle, and specifically like the sold out shows like Chicago, Salt Lake City, and Denver. That was like the most energy probably, and then plus like the West Coast. But trying to think of food, we had some really good food recently, and
so much good food.
I mean, Southwest, like the Tex-Mex mix, like cheese.
Freaking this coffee shop in Kansas City. It's like Cafe Corazon or something. Spend like hours in there, like every time we go.
Nice.
You guys have those spots, anytime you're on the road, it's like, oh, we're going to be here again. That's our spot. Got to go there. Got to hit that. So that's the fun thing about touring.
Where'd you guys go in Seattle?
We hit we played the Funhouse, which is like the smaller room to El Corazon, yeah.
Okay. Because so a few years back we went to Seattle.
Yeah.
And because we do AV for like medical conferences and stuff like that. And we were so excited. We added an extra day to the trip or 2 days to the trip, and so excited. We're like, music mecca for us, right?
Yeah.
And we show up there. It was a Saturday, and we went to a local show. First couple bands were popping off.
Yeah.
The first one the last one was not so much, and then we were like, all right, well, let's see what else is going on and whatever. So we go, everything's closed.
Yeah.
And then we were like, screw it, let's just go back to. It was 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
It was 10 o'clock.
Everything was shut down.
Then we went back to that show, and they were closing. They were the last band had just ended, and they were loading out, and everything was closed. So is that the same experience you dealt with at all? Because if not, tell us where that is, because that's Seattle.
That's where we want to go.
I would say Seattle was a crazy experience for us. I don't think we didn't have anything like that because I'm pretty sure we hit this bar after, right?
We ate.
And we hit like a mega blunt, like a literal mega blunt. It took like an hour to kill, and I woke up feeling crazy.
There was an arcade in the bar too, which was cool. I think it was called
Jupiter something.
But you know what? Like that stuff, like always happens. Like to us, like we'll roll in and we're like so hungry, and just like we just drove like 2 hours in the desert, and we roll up in the only town for the next 50 miles, and then like there's nothing open. Like,
I think the key is to find something before, because after you're usually pretty screwed.
Yeah.
Before we play.
We did that with Texas.
We did wander into a place that had pregnant mannequins hanging from the ceiling, though.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. We walked in there, and I was like, we're going to stay here for a little while because I just need to see what else is in this place.
Yeah. And then Montel Jordan started.
And then Montel Jordan.
And then there was, like you said,
there was a fight.
Yeah, there was a fight.
Two girls got in a fight.
That was exciting. And it spilled my drink.
Spilt your drink, yeah.
So I was ready to leave.
Yeah, all those things happen just like that.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure. I love hitting the road, eating different places and stuff like that. Like, do you guys do the touring band? Like, okay, let's pinch our pennies, let's do peanut butter and jelly, or do you guys go to the different places that you go to and you go, all right, where's cool local spots? Let's try different things, that kind of stuff.
A little of both for sure. Definitely like a lot of local spots, but like on the drives and stuff, like instead of eating fast food, just like stick a banana and a piece of bread and get it done.
But
find cool places when you get there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sweet.
Honestly, like we kind of have a little routine though. Like we love hitting the coffee shop in the morning. Like the coffee shop in the morning is like the thing.
Paramount.
Like getting your coffee and getting like a panini. Like that's like the best. That's the move. Or a bowl. Yeah.
Now I wanted to ask, because you're about to go out again, and you're about to do 17 shows in 20 days.
Something like that, yeah.
And that is a brutal schedule. And I'm a singer, and I've done 12 shows in 10 days, but I've never done 17 in 20. Yeah, yes, it was like that.
2 shows for 2 nights.
Yeah. We did a couple where it was like we got invited to go do like a house party afterwards, and we just were like, of course we will, because those are the best. But how do you keep the energy up? How do you keep your voices? How do you mentally keep yourself in check for that many shows, that many things in a row? Is it just like the Newtown vibe of that adrenaline rush of hitting a new stage, or do you guys, I don't know, yoga, huge bags of weed? What's your thing? Like, how do you?
I think
everything.
All that stuff certainly helps. I think me personally, like what I try to do is, how much rest you get or whatever, all that stuff is completely dependent on how the day goes. But as far as getting ready to sing every night, I'll do like a Wim Hof breathing. So it's like kind of like hyperventilating, where you breathe in really deep and exhale like halfway, and then keep doing that for a while. You'll feel like yourself get really lightheaded and tingly all over, and that's, I think, a good thing. And it kind of like opens me up, so I have enough like room in there. And then I'll do like a little bit of like throat kind of kind of like rumbling,
right,
so like
local fry and
get a little fry going, because the kind of singing we do is like not what a singing teacher would teach you. It's kind of like sometimes you need extra coat or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of do those to prepare me and hope that it all goes well, I guess. After about a week, I'm usually like locked in. But that first week, you have to almost it's like a muscle, you almost have to break in the voice first, and then it kind of settles down, in my experience.
See, and I'll say I am a singing teacher, and I would teach. I would teach that. And you sing some. You guys both have some guttural vocals and everything, but you do some high shit, and you just do some clean vocals too, man. You got some chops that you throw in there, and there's harmonies and things that happen in your music, so don't sell it short. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, it is like that muscle thing. I tell students all the time that are about to go on tour that it's like, okay, just what you're looking for is 85%. That's what you would need to. That's what you're trying to be at. And if you're at that, you're going to be golden. You're not going to be 100% at all. It's just not going to happen. But keep it at 85. Keep your sleep. Keep your water. Things like that.
Yeah, exercise.
Yeah.
That I found myself running a lot. Like I'm getting back into that because I felt like our sets were getting just longer, and also just like they're just as. It's just funny. It just gets more and more intense. I feel like as we age, which is kind of funny. I feel like, but I just need to getting on that breathing like every day and making sure that you're just physically well, eating well.
Yeah, because also you guys, you're not a stand still on stage and just kind of play through your shit band either. You guys are animated. You move. You go off. The music's intense. There's energy there, and I'm sure you're playing off crowds pretty into because you have a very communal thing too. It seems, you know what I mean. Like a lot of the stuff with you guys is very community based. So I'm sure that there's definitely a trade off with an audience that gets you guys going off too. So gotta keep the wind up.
No, for real.
Commercial break.
What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys. Watching the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff. If you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod. 20% off. Free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
Good. Sounds good. All right. I'll say it. And then I'll be like, hey, I'm Chris. And you say, hey, I'm Dan. And then we're from Highwind. and then I'll say you've been consuming bacon as my podcast. Easy.
Yeah, just say we're Highwind. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's.
We're gonna do it that way because it's fun and it makes it official. All right.
So am I saying Highwind?
No, I'm saying it. You're saying
Cool.
I'm Dan. Cool. All right. I'm Chris,
And I'm Dan.
and we are Highwind, and you've been consuming Bacon is my podcast.
So something that we love to do here, and you know, we want to talk music, we want to talk about your songwriting, everything like that. But what we try to do here is be the interview that you look forward to.
Right.
Be the interview that you're not just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So
Right.
what we like to ask everybody is like,
What's your band name and what do the songs mean? And
Right.
Can you give us your favorite lyrics and what bands influenced you?
how did it start? Who was the first person to come up with
Just kidding. None of that. We don't care about any of that shit.
What we actually want to know is literally what your bacon is. So what bacon is basically like, what's the thing in your life that makes it better? So how do you guys are on the road, touring all the time. What do you do to shut it off? What is that thing? Are you wrestling fans? Are you comic book fans? Are you movie buffs? Are you sports fanatics? Art,
Like
cooking.
surfing. What do we
What
do?
is your thing? Like if
They're like, we have no things.
yeah, we have
I got my thing.
Right?
My thing is Lord of the Rings. That's my Lord of the Rings is reading and watching and the behind the scenes, everything that has to do with it. I think just the creation of that trilogy of movies is like one of the most insane things that's ever happened, just ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely
crazy.
The books, you can just read them forever. So,
Are you ready for the new show? They're putting out the.
yeah, I'm actually, like it's so funny. They put out one little, I guess,
They have that teaser out.
or two teaser, and everyone freaked out. And
Yeah.
I'm totally just ready for it to come out just to see what it's like. I'll probably be stoked, but
Who's your
Cool.
favorite? Do you have a favorite character in the books or the movies? Either way.
Oh yeah, probably Gandalf. Yeah, Gandalf. Yeah. Yeah, Gandalf. Definitely Gandalf.
How annoyed were you when they fucking shoehorned Legolas into the early ones, the prequels? I was like, what? No.
Yeah, that's Hollywood speaking right there. Honestly, it's so funny. I work at a coffee shop, and me and my good friend that works there as well. I didn't know that she grew up and that was her favorite movie too. So we are just always just talking about it, and she was so mad. I don't really care much about that because I look at The Hobbit as different movies anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's
as a trilogy, but people are just that's just disrespectful.
What I do have to do is because we our bands, we always do we always do Halloween shows, and every year we'll always do different themes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you're doing togetherness costumes, that's always number one.
Absolutely. And
I thought that my band this year doing Super Troopers was going to be number one.
It would have been.
And then our buddies in the band Sweet Tooth showed up like this, which and I quickly realized that I am number two.
That was pretty fantastic.
Wow.
I think that was the year that I was
you were Nickelback guy.
Yeah, I was Nickelback guy. I had a Sons of Anarchy hat and the chin strap beard. Hit everybody and called them bro all night. I was super annoying. I was just trying to really.
Jen hated you.
Really, yeah. Everybody hated me.
She
was
really
awesome.
She really questioned me. She questioned the friendship in general. She's like, I don't know if I want to be friends with him anymore, and I don't know if you should be either. And I was like, it's just a Halloween costume. She's like, yeah, but he was being a real dick. Yeah, well, that's what they are.
I like to go method.
Method
in my Halloween.
Yeah,
It's all part of the show.
Go all out.
You should have seen when I was Dorothy from.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I saw the pictures. So
I was a beautiful Dorothy.
Sam, Alex, you guys have escapes?
Yeah, what's your
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, this is hard because like lately it's really just been like so much music stuff. Like even just when I'm not on tour, just like listening to so much stuff and just like always whenever I'm driving anywhere, just like jamming some nostalgic like heavy stuff or I don't even know. But I mean, I guess like hanging with my girlfriend Heather, she definitely brings me down to earth, and she's just like happy about like freaking flowers and stuff. Like so, like some pretty
slows your brain down.
Intense
'cause you're,
stuff.
Like you
Intense
get
stuff.
to like chill out for a little bit and be like, yeah, that is a pretty awesome flower.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
that was a badass.
Well, like if somebody were to be like, hey, what could you talk about for hours
Yeah, the not enough people ask you
that
about.
nobody asks you about? What is that thing?
If you hear a conversation going on and you're like,
man,
I can get in on this.
Oh, yeah.
dude, this is hard because like I dabble in so many different things, not like one thing like super
Right.
super deep. But I don't know, maybe like freaking stocks, honestly, which is hilarious.
Stocks. I'm still
How's your portfolio?
baffled.
I'm a very irrational person. There's no portfolio. It's just freaking day trading.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get the big ones and pull out. Yeah. I get it.
All that Bitcoin money's helping them get on tour.
There's hella shit going on. But yeah, so either that or freaking like smoothies.
Smoothies.
Wait.
Smoothies are pretty great.
Do you make them yourself or you like get them at
Or
places?
just like drinking smoothies.
Oh yeah, no, making them yourself or like I don't know, just like some good ass foods.
Nice.
Like so, I was trying the smoothie thing for like a long time and shit like that, and I just found that the only way I can make them really good is by putting a half a tub of peanut butter in it.
Okay.
And lots of frozen bananas and almond milk.
Frozen bananas with anything, pretty much. Freaking
Yeah.
frozen bananas with a fart. It'll taste great.
Mm,
With
I'm not
cacao-
going to test that one.
I think it depends on the fart
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
and also the banana.
with anything.
You got to freeze bananas though, because like ripe fresh bananas are amazing, but they're only ripe for like 2 hours. It's like you have a green banana and you're like, oh, I really want this, and then it's like yellow and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go outside and come right back, and then it's brown and you're like, god
Yeah,
damn it,
real.
I missed my
Well,
window.
those are the ones you got to throw in the freezer though.
Yeah.
Because those are the sweet ones.
It's true.
True.
So,
Frozen bananas.
Alex, what do you got, buddy?
I'd say my thing is definitely like reading books and shit. I've been really into autobiographies. I always make sure I have something on me while we're on the road.
Nice.
Most recently, I've been reading Miles Davis's autobiography. That's been really interesting. It's
Oh,
been
cool.
it's been really cool, like reading about like other musicians and seeing how their kind of path goes, like while we're on our own path.
Mhm.
It kind of, I don't know, helps relate to someone else in another time, especially in like other genres or just like in different eras of music. You can learn a lot, and there's so many similarities between like what we do and like any style of music that was like underground once and is like bubbling to a peak.
Yeah, the hustle's the same. You start to
Right.
see that like the mindset and the work ethic is like the same no matter what you're doing. And when you see those similarities, you're like, oh sweet, I have something in common with someone that's wildly successful or a legend or something,
Sure.
and it just
Yeah, I think too, like I don't know, like any journey that someone chooses to go into, like you can reach like enlightenment through. You know what I mean? Like you could reach fucking nirvana in like a piece of toast if you like put all your energy into it and like really like explore that process of perceiving said toast. You know what I mean? Like it's all in the process. So for me, like having something to relate to like that while we're on the road is a good kind of reminder that like my journey is going to be my journey and our journey is going to be our journey, and that's all it can be.
That's awesome.
nice. That is awesome.
Are you watching any like documentary biography kind of things?
I like them a lot, but I haven't seen anyone recently. Yesterday I watched Ancient Civilizations Top 10 War Weapons. That was pretty cool.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
One that I will totally, I don't know if you're into comedy or anything like that, but one that is really awesome is the new George Carlin one.
I just started that, and that is really, really good.
Oh,
It's what were you saying?
Cool.
Yeah. The George Carlin one, it's a 2-parter. It's like 4 hours long. Judd Apatow did it, and he did it really well. Really, really awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. The Beastie Boys one that came out a couple years ago was really cool. Yeah, that's a really good one too. And
Earmuffs for a second.
What's that?
Earmuffs.
Okay.
The Eagles one is really, really good.
I like the Eagles separate.
It's like
that
3+ hours,
Yeah.
and it was really fucking good. So yeah.
And read the Aerosmith biography. That's a really good one too. Speaking of Aerosmith from earlier,
Yeah.
I read the biography a few years ago. It was really, really good. And The Dirt. The Dirt's a great book.
The book is great.
It's a terrible,
It's an awful
documentary,
movie.
but the book is awesome.
We did watch the movie.
I love the movie.
It's yeah.
The movie doing whippets. It was the worst experience of my life.
You love the movie,
Whippets.
which would explain why you are not
So
a,
carny of you. Were you behind the zipper?
Time and place for everything, my friends.
Dude, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I really
I
wish
only say
I
that because
was
I've done
doing
whippets
something.
behind the zipper. So
I wish I was doing something else besides watching that movie at that time. Actually, we spoke. I was just talking about watching that movie recently. So my wife Jen went on a trip to go visit a friend in Boston, and she was like, "So what are you going to do tonight?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just probably going to, just set up a couple of guitars and watch a movie and just hang out." And I sat there, and I threw my first guitar down, and I started watching it, and I set up 4 guitars that night, watching that movie, and I was like, I know I was productive, but I'll never get that time back.
see, that's why you were trying to do something valuable while you were watching it.
No, I tried watching it, and it was just like, no.
We'll watch it. I'll bring over like mushroom chocolates, and we'll watch it.
Okay, maybe that'll fit.
Yo, know it's a good documentary that I just saw. The Leonard Skinner one.
That one's awesome.
They got a great story too. That's why.
So crazy, so wild.
Yeah, definitely. That's very cool.
You guys brought up a lot about like metalcore and stuff like that. So your music is very, you can hear a lot of the, these nostalgia acts that we're talking about, the Skinners, the classic rock, if you will. But there is an edginess to your music and stuff like that. And Jersey is a hotbed for scene, hardcore, all that stuff. So like, what from that scene kind of hit you guys and influenced you guys?
So much.
Well, I think early on we could date it all the way back to like being in middle school watching MTV and seeing My Chemical Romance or like Taking Back Sunday, all the Long Island bands and stuff. But Jersey specifically, like in the music scene, like when we were really young, we were probably like 15, 16, 17. The hardcore band Back and Forth was like really prevalent in Jersey, and they like kind of like took us under their wing. And all the shows that were being thrown by Jersey shows at the time, they had like they would throw like, just gigs all around the state, but mainly they did like a couple festivals throughout like the year. They did like Get Heard Fest, maybe like 1 or 2 more. But there was always so many touring bands coming through Jersey, and we were like 12 or 13, just getting our start playing local shows, selling tickets and stuff, and we'd be playing with some like really cool like touring bands. I don't know if it can be announced.
Are you guys too young for skate and surf?
Well, we saw the new one in like 2013, but we didn't get to go to the old one in 2000s. Yeah, but Bamboozle was like Bamboozle changed my life because my sister was like, she's like almost 2 years older than me, and like I was like allowed to go to Bamboozle when I was 12 because she was going, and I walked in there strictly to see All Time Low. I went with like a few of my friends because like they were the band who kind of opened the door to the scene for me, and like I walked in there and my brain just like exploded. Like everything I could ever imagine that was like cool and weird and funky and debaucherous and colorful and fucking wild was there. And for me, that opened the door. So like I went to see All Time Low, and I remember right before All Time Low on the main stage was Thrice. And Thrice came out, and it was a huge crowd, and their guitarist was fucking bleeding like from the hand, and he was like ripping the whole set, just bleeding out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Easiest thing I've ever seen. It's never left me. So from then, for me, I just dove into all the rest of the scene, and I realized that was kind of like my home. I went to Bamboozle every year until it ended, and then I went to Skate and Surf. And I'm looking for next year's Bamboozle too.
Warped Tour used to come to our hometown. They came to the Monmouth Racetrack in Oceanport. So like, 09 was like the first year I went.
Was that the year? Gym Class Heroes Story of the Year. That's every fucking year of Warped Tour. Never mind. I think
Is that the year
I think
No
I went
Effects
that
was
year.
on?
So funny enough, no, I think that's the one I went to. The reason why I'm asking is because there is a local band from here in Long Island that played that Warped Tour, and we're friends with them, and they came out and they were like, and I was honestly trying to avoid them because I wanted to go see better bands. And I'm sorry. And they were like, Mike, and whatever. So they ended up playing, and they wanted me to stay. And Jen was like, so and so is playing. I don't even remember who it was. I was like, yeah, but I gotta it's scene stuff. I gotta stay or whatever. Their laptop overheated, and they were able to play two fucking songs in their 30-minute set, and that was at that raceway.
If only they could play the rest of their set without a laptop.
If only.
Yeah. And that was and it was like the beginning of like people running tracks. And
We
shit
joke
like
about that all the time. We talk about I'm like, if you can't play your set, what are you doing?
That's like 99% people, honestly, nowadays.
It's funny what we encounter. Like, just doing what we do is very simple, and people. I don't know. Most bands right now are not doing that. It's very comical, honestly. It's the difference. Anyway, Sam, what is yours?
Like scene core shit.
Yeah, because he had a little bit of a different route than us because we didn't get to know him until a little bit later.
Yeah, I mean, my first show ever was like August Burns Red, Devil Wears Prada, Flyleaf, and like As I Lay Dying or something. It was like a Christian metal festival.
Yeah.
And then, I was like in 7th grade or something like that, and it was so sick in Jersey. And then just like got into local shows after that, like this band Love You Made the Butcher from my town. Yeah, just like
Great name.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that band name. And then like Lorna Shore, like The Air I Breathe, all these. Great metalcore bands that like some of them like went on to do stuff, and then like some of them just got lost in time and all that. But I mean, Lorna Shore is like as big as ever right now.
They were out at So What Fest when we were there.
Dude, we were like in Dallas like that morning because we just played like the night before, but we had to drive to New Orleans. So we were like literally driving like away from the fest. We were like in Dallas, like,
oh man,
it was a fun night though. That was sick.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was one of the best shows of tour. So.
But
that's really cool.
Yeah, like we definitely listened to a ton of like crazy metal and like crazy like everything, like break beats and like old jazz and shit, and like it all kind of just like gets processed in our minds and then like comes out when we like write songs. Like we're not like trying to be like any of these bands. You know, it's just,
Well, no, and it shows too, because like there are quite a few local bands that you can just go like, yeah, they sound like Led Zeppelin, or they sound like they're trying to be this one or that one, and you guys take all of that stuff and you take all of the, like, I hear, you know, I'm a you know, I like metalcore, I like heavy shit and stuff like that, and I could hear it in your music. It's like it's what draws me to it, because like I appreciate classic rock and stuff like that, and garage rock and things like that, but like I need something else too, because there's just everybody here is doing that.
Right.
So when you get a little bit of an edge like what you guys put on it, it's like, oh fuck, this is cool. This is cool. So I that's why I wanted to ask, because it's evident to me that that's what makes your music different, is that edge. And you brought up the Jersey hardcore stuff and whatever.
Yeah, it's funny when you start talking about influences and stuff, because there's always that, like, at least I always felt it whenever I was in an interview and someone was asking me about influences. You always want to say your influences, but then you always want to really quickly be like, if anybody that's reading or listening or anything doesn't know who you are, you want to be like, but that's not what we sound like, or it's not, we have our own thing going on. And there's always that, like, that rush to be like, yeah, but that's not what we do.
Yeah.
so much
and it's
load into there.
Yeah, it's funny but everybody wants to know when they ask you, like, if you go to a new person, they want you to tell them somebody that they know that you sound like, you know, to give them something to grab onto, which is annoying. But then it's also like, what band can go like, hey, we're a rock band. They go, who do you sound like? Yo, we sound like nobody you've ever heard in your entire life. Yeah. We have created an entirely new form of music. We are so far ahead of our time. Our heads are so far up our asses that you don't even know what we sound. You know, it's like, we fucking don't. Like, we all have drums, guitars, bass. We you know, like, there's music, there's hooks, there's melody, it's music. So it's always that weird, like, conundrum when you're describing yourself, where you don't want to be like, yeah, we sound like this band, but you're like, I like this band a lot, and maybe you'll hear something if you like them, and you'll go, oh, I fucking like you guys too, cool, you know. But it's that balancing act.
Comparisons, like, we've heard like 900 different bands. Like, people after said, yo, you sound like old 311, and then you sound like fucking Jefferson Airplane or whatever.
What?
They give us the most random
the combination. It's not even just like
System of a Down,
because that's how I think some fans of music will like break it down. They're like, oh, that part sounded like Pearl Jam, but like this part sounds like Beastie Boys. So like we love like the combinations. Like,
yeah, we like hearing whatever. Like
when someone like, when we got hit with the old 311 meets like whatever,
like,
we were
yes.
Like,
well, yeah, old 311, I'm in. Well, give me all music all day long.
If you think about that, though, that speaks to how you're doing things your own way. Because if everybody that came up to you said the same band, then guess what? You sound like that fucking band.
Exactly.
If everybody coming up to you is saying a different thing, and you're hearing different things from everybody, that's the best compliment in the world, because that's people telling you that, like, yo, you're fucking original, man. You know, like, I'm listening to you and I'm pulling something out that I like because it makes me feel like this band I love. And that's what I'm getting from your music. That's the connection I'm making. And if you're making people make those connections on their own, that's awesome. That should be in your bio. We sound like old 311 and Jefferson Airplane. Mixed with Beastie Boys and Pearl Jam.
Classical music.
I feel like before we go on, I feel like there is one type of person that you do have to look out for.
Yeah.
It's the person that's disconnected enough from music that goes to see a band, and in the second there's like a little bit of growl or a little bit of distortion in the guitar, they go, you guys remind me a lot of Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Yo, we get called a metal band a lot
all the time,
but usually by like moms and dads.
Or
right. Well, that's the thing.
There's
it's
the
like
age group.
Or kids that just like are not in the scene at all.
That's
Like on this
true.
last
Yeah.
one with Harbor, like a lot of their crowd was like college kids, high school kids who like either haven't gone to shows yet or like aren't really in the music scene at all and are just going for a good time. Because some of Harbor's songs were kind of like, you know, the soundtrack to their party days and stuff like that. So like we had a lot of people who were outside of our scene, and a lot of them considered us like heavy metal and stuff like that. They'd be like, I don't really listen to heavy metal, but you guys are cool. And we're like, thanks, hell yeah.
Dude, that's the other best compliment in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not my style, but I think you're really good. It's like,
There's
cool.
a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And like, I don't know. I feel like, we have all these influences, you know, like we said, that we're influenced by the stuff that we grew up on, plus like a lot of the attitudes of the past, you know. I think that that's kind of that rock and roll essence is something that we definitely want to continue to bring forward. So like if like someone does pick up on like these influences from the 2010s and stuff like that, that we all loved, and we can bring it to the future. I mean, there's so many unsung heroes and bands that really changed music to my mind and to all of our minds that never got like quote unquote mainstream success, that like if we could bring that forward in any way, I think that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to switch gears here. We're going to pay some bills.
Yeah.
This is Jim's favorite part of the show.
It is my favorite part of the show. Mike is going to describe to you right now what Poddex is, and he's going to do it in such a succinct,
long-winded,
well-worded,
fucking ass.
perfectly said and concise way.
Right.
That it's just going to be incredible. So,
Mike,
Mike,
been doing this like 100 times.
Let us know.
I still haven't gotten it down. So, what Poddex is? It's for budding podcasters. It's for people who need to break ice. People who don't have verbal diarrhea like we have. And what Poddex does is they come up with different decks. Each deck is 50 cards. Within each card is a question, a different question. Sometimes we've picked some doubles, but what we like to do is we have our guests pick a deck and then pick a random question from that deck. So, gentlemen, the decks you can pick from are the interview deck 2, the episode deck. We've got the Would You Rather deck, the What the Heck deck, and then the two newer ones. They've
been new for 6 months.
I said newer. Relax, guy. There's What the Fuck, and then there's also How Dare You. This you have to say it like that. Everybody can pick their own deck.
We'll do How Dare You for sure.
Okay. All right. Each of you is going to pick a different question from this How Dare You deck.
And I will say that is the most concise and best explanation that you have ever given. And
it's because I've been made fun of for it a lot.
That's very good. Yeah, absolutely. You got golf claps happening over there. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. Mike is going to shuffle these because I cannot. And while he shuffles, that was a nice little finger claps. I'm going to let you guys know that you can go to poddex.com, and while you're there, you can check out these decks, newer decks. You can check out their app for your phone. They have swag that you can get. They're nice shirts. They're like the soft shirts. They're not crunchy. They're nice on the nips. They're very good. And you can use the promo code BACON.
Because everything is better with bacon.
And get 10% off of your order, and you help the show.
Help me buy it, bro.
Love that.
It's so for anybody who isn't listening or is not watching the video version of this,
right?
Just go and watch this part because they were mocking us the whole time.
Mocking us entirely, the entire time.
No, we need to watch it because it's great.
It's called dancing.
They were dancing.
They were moving to the soothing sounds of my vocal quality.
Yeah,
that's what was happening.
Trying to give a.
Sometimes.
All right.
Sometimes, baby.
Whoa, is that? Oh, I thought that was like a blowtorch.
I mean,
these might be closer than
I was gonna say. Perspective is important.
All right. I was like,
everything's on fire.
Fuck. All right. Ooh, Nutella.
My Nutella.
Fantastic.
We've got fire. We got Nutella.
What we're gonna do is Buffalo seasoned almonds.
Nice.
Dude, like a Trader Joe's run.
Yeah.
Please continue.
They were actually in the van the whole tour, and they didn't get open. So now they're
That's
open.
ridiculous.
So
Now
now they're seasoned.
Now they're
as well.
done.
They've been in the hot van.
Yep.
They're really
Like
good.
Plasticized.
Microplastics.
Exactly.
PCBs.
All right, guys. I'm gonna take the finger of power here, and I'm gonna move it from my left to my right, your right to your left, and we will start. We will start from.
Nope,
all right?
Sam's on the
Sam,
first
stop.
one.
You got there. All right, Alex, your turn.
Go.
Wait, he didn't say stop though.
That's all right.
Is that
I did
okay?
it. It's already happened. It's already happened. All right.
Sam.
No, it's ready.
Stop.
Oh, Fred. Sorry.
All good.
All right. Sam, you're first. Your question.
No. Yes.
Yes. Have you ever had a crush on a teacher or professor?
Oh, Jesus.
Please say it right now on this podcast.
I mean, not exactly, but when I was like, oh, they froze a bit. All right, let me make sure we're good so everyone hears this. Not exactly, but I remember being in second grade, and the teacher, Miss Stewie, I'm sorry, God. I remember like all of us being like, dude, she's like super hot, and we were like fucking 7, and we like knew that.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go with that.
All right. That's good. I like how you apologized to the Lord before you even said it too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, God.
That like any of them do that, but that would just be like the funniest shit because she's like remarried and stuff. I like legit said her name, everything.
Do you think she's hot now?
I haven't seen her lately, but dude, probably.
You haven't looked on Facebook or anything?
She's probably still hot.
Oh, she's probably. I would like 99% sure.
Okay.
She's like probably even hotter.
Right? Because remember, like when you're 7, your teacher is probably in their late 20s.
She was like freaking 46.
Oh, was she? Oh,
Wow.
all right.
I don't
I
know.
feel like it's either
Cougar-
I feel like it's either late 20s
Cougar
or it's
hunting.
like 60. It's like it always was in between for
Dude's
me.
cougar hunting at 7.
Cougar hunt at 7.
Dude, me and all my friends were straight scheming, I guess.
I
I
love
don't know
that.
how we like knew this in second grade.
Wow.
All right, fantastic.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, Alex.
Alex,
Yes.
have you ever gone without wearing a bra and underwear? Well, listen. I'm not here to body shame anybody.
So let's say,
but
have you ever
I'm pretty
gone out
sure
while wearing a bra? Or
pretty
have
sure
ever
you
gone
haven't
with your
worn a
underwear?
bra normally, like on the regular.
He
Yeah.
had a pink dress on in one of the videos. And
Well,
it
no,
was
on the
beautiful.
regular.
Thanks
Boy.
for watching.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. I go commando frequently because I learned from Slash's autobiography that he went commando in leather pants for years at a time.
I read that too.
Slash is also 5'2".
You do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. And I think this is a good time to talk about just quickly that we have a sponsor named Manscaped. And feel free, if you're going to go commando,
Keep those marbles shiny.
keep those marbles shiny and clean.
20% off Bacon Pod.
All right. Last but not least,
Fred,
what is the worst thing about being your gender?
I was gonna say the funny answer, which would be maintenance.
Which leads back to Manscaped.
right,
Yeah.
20% off Bacon Pod.
Alex.
and free shipping.
Yeah, I don't. The worst thing about being my gender. See, I don't really have anything to compare it to. But so I think the worst thing about being myself. Like if you this might sound weird and random, but like if you don't like break a sweat like actively, this might be for everyone, but I feel like for guys we're just like more smelly. Like for real.
We are we are sweaty and smelly.
We are
people.
yeah. When we sweat, we smell.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Manscaped makes products for that.
Yeah, deodorants.
There you go.
The crop mop.
The crop mop.
Crop mop is excellent.
So what we did at So What Fest, since it was like 110 degrees out in fucking a baseball field in Dallas, Texas, is we were giving a lot of crop mops out.
Yeah, they're ball wipes. We
They're
gave them out
ball
to
wipes.
like any bands that we would interview after their set. We'd be like, "Here you go, guys."
Oh, that's great.
Like your balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sponge that off for us, please.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel as a band that one is definitely embracing a very like we'll say analog type of sound and presentation and it's very raw, right? How do you
the essence
balance-
of rock and roll, like you guys said.
Yeah. How do you balance that with like this new era of everything is kind of having to be done online? You guys have been really good about putting out videos and a lot of content and really kind of staying on top of that. You've got lyric videos out. You've got some really cool videos out. But even the videos, they have this quality to them. Even the lyric videos have this quality to them that's very like you've got stuff that looks very analog. You know, you got the little spaceship going through that looks like this handmade stock footage that works, and it's so good with what you guys sound like. How are you balancing that with like this age of like you have to be on top of everything online?
Well, I think that's bullshit. I don't think you do have to be on top of everything online. I think you need to put out good stuff, and people will come to it if it's good. And talking about these videos particularly, like Fred, I don't know if you want to dive into how you made the backdrop for them, but I did the typewriter font that you see on those lyric videos on my mom's old typewriter, where I typed out the lyrics on there and then I tea-dyed them like it was like a school project kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, and then cut them out, took pictures of them, and then digitally imposed them onto the backdrop, which Fred created.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. So you're doing video, you're even doing those analog. That's amazing. That's fucking fantastic.
Those lyric videos have been really fun. I mean, like, I think because we're aware of like leaning into that, and we also like we're like not afraid to use like, you know, publicly like archived footage that's like available for, you know, public access. So we got to use that like a lot to our strengths, and we just found so much cool stuff over the past recent years. But I think, you know, to comment on like social media and stuff like that, like I think as an artist you need like, you know, you seriously do need like a body of work for people to fall in love with. But, you know, as like an entertainer and stuff like that, there's always going to be like these moments of like popping, like say it be on, well, it's most likely on social media now, but like I feel like, you know, like you're going to have those moments as long as you're working on the things that you want to work on, and you're not like, you know, you have a really good attitude about it. Like we just try and keep like a really positive attitude about like everything that we do. We never try and be like, oh, we're not doing like enough, because like we already know that like we work and love doing that stuff, and we love making the art. So like automatically all of us are just like, oh, we got to make a music video for every single song because it all deserves it, and we want to do as much as we can. And we always feel like, I think that we're not doing enough, but I think if we recognize that we feel that way, then, you know, we're on the right path, you know.
Yeah,
because it's coming out of us, you know, like especially like the melodies and the chord progressions and the lyrics that we write, you know, it's stuff that we really feel and that just like is pulled out of us, you know. So
yeah,
really
I mean,
trying.
Dude, as I'm sure you guys know, there's so much more to being a band than just writing songs and stuff like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, it's not. It's not living. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think that the key is just like to not follow these trends that are always coming and going every single day. I think that it's really just about putting out stuff you're proud of, and that you treat every piece of your like artistic endeavor with the same honesty, truthfulness, and like seriousness in a way. Like we don't take ourselves very seriously, but we definitely take what we do seriously, and that's always at the core of what we're doing, you know. So we're not just gonna like post things just because we haven't posted today. We're gonna, you know, make something and post about that, you know.
And we're working really hard to do like original things too. Like we got to like, you know, there's so many accomplishments that we've made as this band that we're so proud of, like being able to play like the first drive-in in our state, and like a lot of things, like selling out our release show, and the way that went down, and how we got to like film it and stuff, and like the footage that came from that was like so cool. And now it's like almost like a thing that people do in our area. It's like you go and play House of Independence and you get it filmed, and it's like we kind of like pop that off a little bit, and now we see like a bunch of people doing that. So it's like we're like flattered when like we can help and be a part of the music.
Well, and it's a good decision and something that's working too. Once it starts to be adopted as the norm, you know what I mean? As other people are kind of doing it too. It's like it's a tip of the cap. It's like, good idea, guys. Nice job. I'm gonna go do it too.
About you.
Yeah. But it's cool that you're looking at it. Like, I know it's really easy for bands to look at social media. Like, I think at first everybody looked at it like opportunity, and it was like, oh, cool. Now we have the opportunity to put out lyric videos when we couldn't before, or music videos that we couldn't before. We have the opportunity to put out an advertisement and get more people to see it, whereas before that would have cost us a lot of money to do and things like that. But then after a while, it starts to turn into this like thing that a lot of people feel like they have to do, and it's this pressure thing where it's not seen as like, oh, look what we can accomplish. It's like, oh God, did you do your 3 posts today so we can fucking beat the algorithm? And like it becomes a job, and that's when it starts to suck. So it's cool that you guys are still kind of embracing it as like, oh, it's our opportunity to take our art and be a visual with it as well as being musical with it. It's the right way to look at it, I think.
Sure.
I think it's cool. It's tough to do for everybody. It can be overwhelming a lot, but it's a really good way to look at it. It's a good reminder for all of our friends and bands that listen to our show that get really upset about social media.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah. It can be used for evil as well as good.
Indeed.
Be a gray Jedi. Be in the middle.
Yeah, you could tell when someone's just like a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, and authenticity is super important. It's like you were saying. Yeah. That's another thing that like just comes across with you guys is it's like everything feels like it's matters. Like everything you do kind of matters with what it's connected, and it matters with everything else that you're putting out at the same time, which is cool. I think that's pretty awesome.
Thanks, guys. Sure. Yeah, you're
right. So before we sign off here, please let all of our consumers know where they can find everything America Part 2.
Absolutely.
On the socials, on the streaming platforms, all the things.
AmericaPart2.com has everything: tour dates, music, leads to our merch store, which is called Mischief Night. And you can stream us on Spotify, Apple Music, videos on YouTube. And we'll be on tour all summer long with Brick and Mortar and Andres.
Nice. We're going to have links to all of that.
AP Tuniverse.
Yep. We're going to have links to everything underneath. So definitely check that out. Go check out the videos. Honestly, the newest video, Feel the Break, is out now. Just came out. Well, by the time you're watching this, it's been out a couple of weeks, but it really just came out like a little while ago. The Same and You Are All Splatter are both awesome lyric videos. They're super cool. The visuals are great. Feel the Break is a great video too. Everybody go check these guys out and go see them live because they're
hanging out.
They're
out. They're out by you.
They're coming around, so definitely go see them live, guys. When you come around here, we will come see you live, and we will hopefully share a beverage with you in person.
Indeed,
which would be great.
Thank you
guys so much.
Appreciate you guys.
It's been a pleasure.
And once again, everybody that's listening, just remember
always,
every single day, to ask yourself, and you've heard some of theirs here today, what's yours? What's that thing that makes your life better? What's that thing that makes your day a little bit tastier? What is it? You guys remember the question?
There's a test.
What is your bacon?
What is your bacon?
I got him good.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, you should be.
I should be.
You should
because you're a lying liar.
A lying liar.
You're full of falsehoods and mistruths.
I put my head in the shirt.
Yeah.
I sold it.
As
I sold
a
it
plan.
really well.
As a plan. And I knew you were going to do it, too. I knew it was coming. I just
You
was
didn't.
waiting for it.
You obviously didn't.
No, okay.
You obviously didn't because you would have had a counter strategy.
No, I didn't know. I didn't need a counter strategy.
Oh, because you're just fucking.
No, because I just.
Oh, I'm just Jimmy.
People can see the way that you mistreat me.
Well, if I mistreat you,
Yeah.
obviously you should go first.
What should I go first on? How
You should tell
great
everybody-
American Part 2 was? Because they were awesome, and I love them, and they're great, and they're fun.
Yeah.
And they're a cool band, and we had a great conversation, and they've got new music out, and they've got new videos out.
got
You
an
should check
EP out.
all that stuff.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
But, I'm going to go first on this. Where can they find you?
No. Where
I
can
already
they
said
find
it.
you?
Where can they find you?
No, you know what?
I already did it. Where can they find
They've
you?
shut them. They've shut this off already.
You can find me, my own self, Mike, on all the socials. And you can look for his band, Something Heavy,
at something.
at Something Heavy, on all the socials. I was doing it.
At
I
something
know.
heavy music.
I know where it is.
At
At Something
Something
Heavy
Music.
Music. I didn't know where it was. I thought it was at Something Heavy. I thought you were better than that. But sure, music is
I'm
good.
not.
Put it up. But yeah, that's where they can find you. They can also find us at
Us together.
Bacon is My Passion.
Passion.
You can find that on all streaming services. Check it out. Check out our singles. Check out our music. You can find all of that if that's just too much for you. Go to baconismypodcast.com. You can find episodes of this. You can find Mike's alarm, which
At 7 o'clock.
apparently is there. You can find our blog.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have one. You have like 1,000.
I have 4 or 5. Yes.
Yeah, I have one. I'll do more. I feel I always write something and then I'm like, this is just gonna make people mad, and then I don't do it.
I thought so too, and people love it. So.
Well, they love yours because you're a nice person. I, on the other hand, am like a total jerk bag.
Which is a complete juxtaposition
Right.
to what you were saying before. You can find Jimmy at Jimmy G's Shoes.
Yeah.
All one word.
That's true.
No underscores
No underscores.
on all of the social medias. His band is Craving Strange, and you can find them at cravingstrange.net.
Thank you.
I thought you were better.
I am better. That dude won't sell it to us. You're a dick. Not you. That guy.
Right. No, I get it.
Right.
I get it. But I thought you were better.
Not
Also,
jerking.
guys, if you want to help us out, again, those 5-star reviews are huge everywhere.
Yeah, that's clutch.
Spotify's, on the Apple Music,
We read
Google.
them.
We read them
Months later.
months later. And also, if you want to help us out a little bit more and get like a little more bang for your buck, there's our Patreon.
Yeah.
Our Patreon has extra episodes. It's got another podcast
Yeah.
now.
It does.
It's got live streams. It's got music that we do, covers that I'm doing and slowly uploading. I'm doing it piece by piece.
You really never know what's going to show up there.
You don't.
Right? It's
You don't.
kind of
just-
like anything we decide to do is there, but we do it for you, and we do it, for our Patreon,
on the cheap.
for our patrons, and it is on the cheap. Honestly,
It's on the cheap.
Bacon is My Podcast, as always, and will always be free. So definitely check out our sponsors. Go to the website, baconismypodcast.com. Check out our sponsors, order stuff, use the promo codes to get yourself a deal. That helps us out. That helps us keep this going. And like Mike said, if you want to help us a little bit more, jump on the Patreon. Help us out. It actually is a lot more work for us for very little input from you guys. So it's kind of a cool trade-off. And
Yeah.
you really, really, really help the show. So thank you so much for that. For those of you that are listening still at this point, remember to ask yourself every single day.
One question.
Just one.
What's your bacon?
What's your bag? What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys. Watching the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more, and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could, though. You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff. If you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod. 20% off. Free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?